Buyers keep asking me, which one is better, Lansdowne or Ashburn? Wrong question. Both are good. That's the problem. Nobody buys the wrong house in Loudoun because they picked a bad neighborhood. They buy the wrong house because they picked a neighborhood that fit their Saturday and forgot that they were going to live there on a Wednesday. I've been selling in Loudoun County since 2017 and live in Broadlands since 2013. And I can usually tell within 10 minutes of talking to somebody which one of these fits them. Not because I'm psychic, but because they tell me. They just don't realize it. So here's the real question. Do you want your neighborhood to feel like an escape? Or do you want your entire week to feel easier? That's the whole video. And there's one thing about Lansdowne cost that almost everybody has it backwards. It cuts both ways, and I'll get to it. Everything in Loudoun is a drive. That's the deal here. Anybody telling you Lansdowne is isolated hasn't been to Lansdowne. And anybody telling you that Ashburn is 5 minutes from the metro has never actually tried it at 7:40 on a weekday. So stop asking how far. Ask which direction. Lansdowne sits along Route 7, closer to Leesburg and the river. So if you're comparing it to an Ashburn neighborhood closer to the toll road, metro, or Dulles, an eastbound commute may cost you extra time. Not once, every day. Both directions for as long as you own the house. But the exact address decides that, not the neighborhood name. Western Ashburn and Lansdowne are having a very different conversation than Eastern Ashburn and Lansdowne. Two households, same budget, opposite answers. First one, two adults working mostly from home, quieter week. They walk in, they walk into the evenings, use the indoor pool, and through the winter, actually show up to the community events instead of reading about them in the newsletter. For them, Lansdowne isn't an expense. It's the entire point. Second one, two eastbound commutes, a calendar full of schools and practices and appointments, and somebody forgetting their cleats roughly every other Tuesday. For them, minutes matter more than the scenery. A well-chosen Ashburn neighborhood will probably protect their time better. Same county, sometimes the same budget, but completely different right answer. And before you write an offer on either one, drive it from that exact address to work, to school, to practice, to wherever your weekend actually happens. At the times that you'd actually be going. Not Sunday at 2 p.m. in the afternoon when Route 7 is on its best behavior and everyone's pretending that traffic isn't real. Almost nobody does this. Everybody should. Now let's talk about what the money actually buys. Ashburn is huge. And treating it like one thing is lazy. Older neighborhoods, newer constructions near the metro corridor, golf communities, town center, quiet pockets that feel nothing like each other. Generally, Ashburn gives you more of a wider menu. More floor plans, more construction ages, more to compare side by side. Lansdowne, on the other hand, gives you something you can't build. Mature landscaping, established streets, in some sections, more privacy and more finished feel. New construction can't fake 20 years of tree growth, no matter how good the model home smells. But established often means older systems, roof, HVAC, water heater, windows drainage. None of that shows up on a pretty drive through the community. all of it shows up eventually. Same price buys different combinations: home, age, lot, layout, garage, maintenance, exposure, neighborhood feel, amenities. You're not getting more or less. You're just getting different. The dollar may be similar for what it gives you, but what it gives you is not. But here's the cost that almost everybody has it backwards. People talk about Lansdowne like it's one giant membership where you buy in and golf and the resort comes attached to the deed. But that's not how it all works, and getting it wrong hurts buyers in both directions. There are separate things going on. There's the Lansdowne on the Potomac HOA and what your assessment covers. And then there's a Lansdowne resort, its own business. And there's the private golf club membership you choose. It's not something automatically bolted onto every home. So no, you're not quietly paying for golf dues that you never signed up for. But here's the part people miss going the other way, which is that the Lansdowne on Potomac HOA, it currently sits on indoor and outdoor pools, the Potomac Fitness Center, the tennis, pickleball, trails, playground, community events, and a home with internet with a digital starter TV package as included as a community benefits. All right, read that last one again. So if you'd otherwise be paying separately for TV and maybe TV is a part of that assessment, it is probably going to replace a bill that you already have, not adding a brand new one. So keep that in mind. So don't compare Lansdowne HOA to Ashburn's HOA line for line. Compare for what it actually includes in there. And then verify the resale packet for the exact property, fees, sub-association, dues, reserved, planned projects, rules, all of that stuff. That packet is what controls your purchase, not my video, not the listing agent, and not your neighbor's cousin who heard something. I'll pull it and go through with you line by line. That's the job, because the problem was never paying for amenities. The problem is paying for a life your household will barely touch. And Ashburn HOAs aren't free either. Some communities have lower dues, others have serious amenity packages and dues to match. So all of them will still send you a letter if your trash can starts living its best life out front on a Tuesday night. So who wins? 2 eastbound commutes and a packed calendar. Usually Ashburn, not because it's nicer, but because minutes are the thing that you're short on and you'll feel it every single day. Remote or hybrid work, that doesn't pull east. Lansdowne gets a lot easier to justify. The commute penalty mostly disappears and you keep the river and the trees. So someone who genuinely wants like an established scenery will use the amenities. Lansdowne clearly, wins. If you're swimming indoor and in January, you're getting really value, not decoration. Now the other side, because that's the part that actually costs people money. Lansdowne is not for you if you like the idea of the amenities more than you like using them. If the pool and the fitness center and the trails sound great in the video, but you already know that you won't touch them, you're paying for a lifestyle you're only going to drive past. Ashburn is not for you if what you actually want is quiet and finished and established. And you're picking Ashburn because it's the practical answer. A newer house is not going to fill that gap. You'll be practical and slightly disappointed for about a decade. Yikes. And if you're stretching just to afford the address, either address, neither address is the one for you. That's not a location problem. That's a math problem, and it does not fix itself after closing. It gets worse. Ask anyone. A beautiful entrance feels great for the first few drives, but a house can still make your mornings quietly worse. You're not choosing the prettier entrance. You're choosing the life you want every Wednesday in February when everyone's tired and somebody has practice at 6 and the entrance stopped impressing you 11 months ago. So here's the one thing. Text me the address of the house that you're already circling. That's it. Just the address. And I'll tell you straight whether it fits how you actually live, even if the honest answer is not what you want to hear. Looking to help with your move? Call or text me anytime at 571-437-1880. I'm Atif Khan with Deluxive Homes, and I keep it real in real estate. Stay happy, healthy, and blessed. Peace.